The best part of being a caregiver, for me, it's I get to spend another day with my son. What is the most challenging part of being a caregiver? It's all challenging. 24 hours a day. We do it, or I do it, because that's what I signed up for when I had a kid. It's the hand I was dealt. It's the hand my son was dealt. So outbursts, depression, anger, that's just not me, that's my son. It's very hard to deal with that. But you have to stick by them. You have to not trigger them, and you have to work towards getting better. My son often tells me the saddest part of having his brain injury is that he can't go back. I think the fact that he's got to that level of awareness tells me that there's hope, that as bleak as it is right now, things can get better. So I have to do the struggle. My wife has to have this struggle because we have to get Nick further along. We have to get him happier, better.
The most challenging part of being a caregiver is that you're never done. It's just not by the minute or by the hour, it's by the day and by the week and by the month. It's a continuous job that goes 24/7. Personally, that's what I find the most challenging, that you can't say, I can't have a break today, or I'm done at 9 o'clock at night because Justin can call me at 1 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. So personally for me, it's that you're always have to be there.
The best part of being a caregiver, for me, it's I get to spend another day with my son. That certainly didn't look like it was going to be the case 3 years ago. He got hit by a car hard, and we were in the hospital in coma for a long time, and it didn't look like he'd ever come home. So as challenging as it is being a caregiver, I am eternally thankful that I have another day with him, another week with him.
The best part of being a caregiver to our son, Justin, is seeing the progress. We can't say it's daily, but we definitely see progress over time. And when you see small steps, it gives you encouragement that Justin will continue to improve, better his life, and better for the lives of people around him.
We're about 3 years into, since the accident. And the first year was basically Nick in hospital. And then Nick's back home, and we have full-time care with him, and it's the hardest thing I've ever signed up for in my life. There's times when I feel like it's too much, and there's times when my wife feels it's too much. Fortunately, it's never happened at the same time, so we support each other, but it's as hard as it gets. We have a friend who talked about, at first everybody's there for you and helps as best they can, and it's wonderful, and it just slowly dries up, and you're in it alone. And one of the things I'd love to see is more support for caregivers, and more support for the brain injured people too. The idea being, I think we're going to see more and more of this in the future. First response is incredible now. Like, people have a catastrophic accident and there's medical help within 5 minutes type of thing, and there'll be more and more people surviving catastrophic injuries. But then what? In the case of my son, we have a wonderful picture at the hospital, maybe 6 months into it, where he's in a full-tilt wheelchair with a tray and all his friends circled around him. Great picture. But they're not around anymore. So he didn't just lose his brain. He lost all his friends. We lost friends. Not because, oh, we hate you have a brain injured son. It's just too hard for them to cope with. So we're kind of on our own, and fortunately we've met a few people. But part of the problem there is they're really struggling too. So it's fun to get together and kind of laugh about some of the struggles, and it's nice to see some of the progresses that people have made. But at the end of the day, you're by yourself. I've seen Nick with other people who are brain injured. There's a local men's group he goes to, men with brain injury, and he met a fellow named Justin there. And when I see that Nick and Justin together, I think it's great. They get each other, and it's fun. And maybe the day will come when there's a place that they hang out at, permanently, maybe overnight or something, and maybe a little relief for the families, and know that Nick is safe and having fun and finding a new life for himself.
For us, we've talked about this, and we believe this strongly, that when the accident happens, you have an abundance of support, and the support is there for a while. I'm not going to say a short period of time, but it's there for a while. And as the time goes on, the support fades away, but the care and the time and the commitment on the family does not change. So that's what I'd like other people to know, that the care still goes on every day, and more help is just not short term, it's long term that would benefit the families.